Outfit check. Supposed to be Scoops Ahoy. Kinda end up looking like Benoit Blanc and Glass Onion. I'll say. Anyways, today we're gonna be talking about Stranger Things, specifically the season 5 and the finale. I think this season did not need to happen. I feel like if they cut it off at season 4, everything would have been pretty okay as an ending. They already killed Vecna at season 4, and that was pretty much all they really needed to do. It didn't tie up all of the loose ends, but you know, it had a foregone conclusion. Vecna is dead. But no, Vecna's still alive. No, we need to endanger more children. No, the Mind Flayer is actually a giant fucking spider in a different dimension. No, Will is still gay and he hasn't come out yet. Who cares about A? She's back. Who cares? I mean, the season itself wasn't really offensive or anything. Well, actually it kind of was, because it kind of ruined everything that the show built up the last 4 seasons, and then they just kind of, let's do an Avengers Endgame kind of thing, but also let's not do it the proper way. Let's forget about every single character. They're all just kind of the same person now. They really ended up flounderizing every single character in the show to the point they started talking like each other. Each and every person started talking or explaining things the way Dustin would usually talk and explain things, including Steve Harrington himself.
This is Hawkins, and this is the Upside Down. They were dormant, just like these kernels.
This is Will. This is Holly. And this, of course, is Max.
Okay, this flashlight is the Squawk radio tower, and this slinky is the bridge.
Steve Himbo fucking Harrington. Steve, I don't know what's happening, Harrington. Steve, I'm in this for the love of the game, Harrington. It got so bad that they split the characters into 3 different groups, technically 4, and they all still kind of started talking the same way. I mean, except for what I call the B team, or in their case, the Smiling Friends.
Turtles are kind of like peanut butter poppers, right?
What?
You bite down on it, it gives way to a gooey creamy corn.
Dude, what the hell are you talking
So
about?
drive fast enough, the beamer can punch a hole into the gate, and then we can track Debo to its home turf in the Upside Down. Follow it straight back to Holly.
We're losing the
You
same.
won't
be able to follow anything if we crash.
We won't crash if it's like a bopper.
It's almost gone.
Really?
Like, what is the actual form of the Mind Flayer? Is it the big, scary shadow thing, which I think should be the proper form of the Mind Flayer? Or is it this giant fucking alien spider with random hive mind capabilities? How did Vecna come back to life? It was pretty clear that all 4 seasons, Vecna only has one body. So how is he still alive? They fucking burnt him to a crisp like a fucking barbecue. And they shot him. And they never even mentioned that it was all imagination. They never said that it was all in the mind of Vecna. So how is he back and still kicking ass with Group's fucking arm? How is he able to do this now? He's supposed to have telekinetic powers. Why does he have Groot's arm? And don't get me started on 8 or Kali or sister or whatever the fuck. Like in season 4, they made the whole mess about how Vecna or Henry killed all of the other children, and like he left nobody alive except for Elle. So how is Kali still alive? Did they retcon a retcon? Because Kali was supposed to be retconned. That was a side character in one episode that they forgot about. Only to bring her back in season 5 is like, oh, big reveal. Kali was captured. Her friends are dead. Who cares about her friends? They were kind of ass. Will getting powers wasn't really a payoff. They were kind of teasing it in like earlier seasons of the show, but by the time season 5 came around and he did the whole I didn't really care anymore. He's part of the hive mind, therefore he has access to Vecna's power this whole time. But why don't the Demogorgons have them? Speaking of the Demogorgons, where were any of the demos? Like, they only showed the Demogorgon like hunting people once they like ripped through a portal in Hawkins. But where were the bats? Where were the dogs? Why wasn't the spider in the Upside Down? Why weren't any of them in the Abyss? Why did I watch the season finale? Season 4, they made it a whole thing where Vecna needed like kills and shit. So how is it in season 5, I need to start kidnapping more children so I can bring down the entire fucking dimension on this one? We have lost the plot. Season 5 is not real. This is all so dumb. So dumb. It's genius. No! It's just dumb. It's just stupid. They forgot about what Stranger Things is. The only thing I really liked about the season was the epilogue. They tied it up into a really nice Christmas gift with a little bow in the end. Granted, the box had giant holes in them, but we're gonna ignore them for now. Oh my god. Joyce getting the final blow on Vecna was really, really well done, and it was very cathartic. Each and most of the characters had a vision of like their trauma and like their whole journey dealing with Vecna. And I think that was really nice. Joyce getting the final blow was really cathartic because I feel like she, up until this season, had to deal with the most bullshit. You know, I feel like Joyce was that bitch during the earlier seasons of the show. Ever since she got Will back though, she just kind of got relegated to a side character who didn't really do much. She was just kind of paranoid all the time and was there, and she was very scared of losing Will again, which makes sense. Makes sense, but also damn, you are lame now, which is why I feel like giving her the final blow, the final kill onto Vecna really was very satisfying. Also, shout out to Steve. He did not get a vision during that whole time. Again, he was just in it for the love of the game. Real quick, I also want to talk about Dustin in this season. Throughout the entire season, he was dealing with grief, losing Eddie, and he sort of like projected it onto other people. Dustin is just a kid, and he has not felt any sort of grief up until the point he lost Eddie. And for him, the only proper way for him to feel like he's grieving or that he's mourning is to feel like shit. That's why he was acting the way he was in season 5. That's why he was looking for fights. He knew he was not gonna win that fight, but he needed to get beaten up because if he's not feeling like shit, he's not grieving Eddie. Later on in the season, he sort of like conjured that into finally feeling what he needed to feel and say what he needed to say. He's scared of losing Steve too, and that's why they were fighting the entire time. That's why Steve had this whole like sort of like jealousy thing with Eddie and 6 and that's why Steve and Dustin had this whole bitchy sort of like arguing sibling dynamic this entire season. They're the only ones who really had any substantial growth. So yeah, hats off to them for getting that. I guess Dustin grieved, and Steve it's still Steve. That one scene with Hopper and Mike talking about grieving and like dealing with the loss of a loved one really hit hard. I feel like that was a really well done scene. It needed more screen time. There should have been a bit more of a push and pull between Mike and Hopper, but I feel like that was a really poignant scene that needed to be done. The Stranger Things kids finally graduating. Well, they're not kids anymore, but it was really touching to see, especially since Dustin ended up being the valedictorian of the group and he did his whole speech just how like Eddie would have done it. And of course, the D&D game at the end of the show was a really nice way to wrap it all up, especially since the show did start with a D&D game between all the Stranger Things kids. But I do hope that the whole thing with Elle and in the ending where Mike was like telling them that this whole theory that Elle was actually still alive and that what we saw was an illusion made by Kali of all people. I really hope that was just a theory. I feel like killing them both off is a nice way to end the show because I'm really so tired of them. Don't make a remake with the new kids. The show has to end somewhere. I feel like it should have ended like 1 season, maybe 2 seasons ago. No more remakes. God, no more remakes.
Obviously, music is a big part of Stranger Things' identity as a whole, either for story purposes or just to make the 80s setting really pop. Of course, we all remember Should I Stay or Should I Go from season 1, Whip It, Talking in Your Sleep, time after time. Don't worry, we love you, Dustin. You just keep doing what you're gonna do, man. We love you. Material Girl from season 3 and Never Ending Story. From season 4, Running Up That Hill. God, how many hills does it take to change a... How many hills does it take for her to just be okay? I just want her to be okay. We have Psycho Killer, Pass the Duchy, Master of Puppets. We remember you, Eddie. We remember you still. Personally, I think season 5 had some good songs. Emphasis on some. Diana Ross's Upside Down was a standout for sure. You know, I was surprised they only used ABBA for like one time during the whole series. Landslide by Fleetwood Mac is always a welcome choice or a welcome song or any media I consume. I think New Girl did it better though.
I took my love and I took it down. I drove around and I hit a pound.
Speaking of New Girl,
Hi. I'm Prince. So what seems to be the problem?
I still can't believe they used When Doves Cry and Purple Rain for this shitty ass season. Like, it feels like they don't deserve to use Prince. But a personal nitpick of mine, as I said, how many fucking times is she gonna run up that hill? Is she fucking Sisyphus or something? Girl, get like a new boulder or something, or like get something new, anything, please. A new song. Something! I know, it's important to the plot of season 4. I think it was used great actually on how Max was only able to get out of that sunken place, Vecna's Mind Palace. And it was through music, like hearing her favorite song and going towards it. I think that resonates with a lot of people actually, myself included, that sometimes music is the only thing that can pull us back from this dark place we're in, back to reality and back to living. All in all, a great song used in a great moment that makes sense in terms of the story. 10 out of 10. But guys, yeah, Max ends up in a coma in season 4. Yeah, I know it's like the only thing Lucas can do to help Max. But in the end, she didn't even need it to get out the upside down. All she needed to do was like make a podcast episode with Holly for like an hour before she got out. To show you how much they used that song this season, here's all of the music used in each episode per season. It was used in almost every episode of season 5. And another thing, when Holly was in Camazot's or in Henry's house, she played I Think We're Alone Now. Now, if this was any other song, I would have been fine, I guess. She could have played Baby Shark and I wouldn't have cared. But this is Netflix we're talking about. They also have a show called The Umbrella Academy. And in said show, they have a scene where everyone's dancing to the song in the house, Harry's house, and it was really fun and cool, and actually the first time I heard of the song. So when I heard it in Stranger Things, first thing I thought was, is Netflix mixing up their own shows? Do they not remember this other show? It's beginning to look a lot like they wrote this season with ChatGPT. Speaking of ChatGPT, I've seen screenshots of the Stranger Things documentary, the making of the last season, and in the Duffers laptops, there were not 1, not 2, but 3 tabs of ChatGPT open while they were making the script for season 8. Actually, the 3 ChatGPT tabs start to make more sense actually. Vecna's fascination with clocks wasn't even addressed or talked about or like put into the plot. And then there was Lucas's theory with the date and how it lined up with Will's disappearance in season 1. I know it was just a theory, but the show made it feel like it's gonna build up to something more, like more important to the plot moving forward. Like, oh, it's the same date Will got kidnapped. Oh, and oh, it's the same date right now. And oh. But in the end, it didn't even really mean anything. Also, what's with the stone in the briefcase Henry found? We didn't even watch the play. I mean, Cadsi didn't even know there was a play while I was writing the script. Also, I think it sucks that a very important part of the big bad evil guy's lore is locked behind another paywall on top of the Netflix subscription you already own. Support the arts and theater, but come on, you're leaning more into MCU territory now. It's been talked to hell, but it's really distracting that they took Eddie's wig, like from his corpse, and put it on Nancy. And if you look at Lucas's hair, it feels like a Lego minifig. Like, all in all, it's not as offensive as any other series finales I've seen. I mean, it's certainly not Game of Thrones offensive.
It's still bad. It's still so bad.
Yes, but have you watched Game of Thrones?
No.
It gets worse. I'm glad Eleven's dead. I mean, I like that it's Mike's way of coping with losing her after everything that happened. Dustin's in college, still doing great. Lucas and Max are still going strong. Robin's in college. Jonathan's a film major. Nancy dropped out of college, which, you know, if you ask me, if you went through everything she's been through, you dropped out of college too. And Steve's still protecting kids, now as a coach and a teacher, and still nurturing them. It was really nice. Rest in peace, Mike Wheeler. You would have loved Lover You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley. It's not